Hi there, we're back in the kitchen today, fixing supper, so I thought I would just kind of walk through. I'm gonna make mashed potatoes, and I know that seems simple to a lot of people, but some have never made mashed potatoes, so we're gonna do that today. First, we're gonna talk about potatoes. There are so many kinds of potatoes, but honestly, I usually wind up just buying a big bag of russet potatoes. They seem to serve me well for any potato that I'd like to do. I peel these just with a paring knife or whatever knife you have, and I usually cut them in bite-sized pieces. I mean, these are usually, so we'll peel one potato. I'll peel potato here. Just cut off the peelings. My papa used to say I was cutting all my potato away. I was not the most fantastic potato peeler. My granny could peel them and almost never lose potato. So I usually cut that. I cut it in half. Then I'll turn it and cut that in half again. And then I'll just cut that in little pieces. And that's pretty much it. So, of course, it's just me and Mr. P, and I have not yet learned how to cook for just 2 people. So I think I've peeled about 5 potatoes. We'll wash these, just pour cold water over them, slosh them around a little bit, drain it. We'll do it again, drain it, and then just cover them in cold water. Put them on a stove eye, turn it on high. That's what I always do, and just let those cook. We'll talk about how long to cook them and how done or how soft they need to be once we get these on to cook. Okay, so these potatoes have been boiling probably for about 10 minutes, maybe 15. I don't want to tell you a specific time, because like with any other situation, it depends on the potato, it depends on the amount of potatoes, it depends on how high you cook it, but you need to do a fork test. So these will be fork tender, and what that means is if I mash this with a fork, it mashes. Did you see that? Those were not done, that's not going to happen. So those are done, those are ready to mash. If something happens and you overcook them, you have a good makings of potato soup. And so what I would advise you then is just to add some salt and pepper and milk and a little bit of cream and just mash the devil out of them and make yourself some good potato soup. I'm going to drain these and then we'll continue. Real mashed potatoes are divine. Now listen, I have nothing against instant or freeze-dried potatoes, but I really do like some real mashed potatoes. And so what I have there then, as you can see, is just the boiled potatoes. Now this is how I do them. Everybody does them different. So I'm going to add butter, and that's probably about, for those potatoes, that's about 1/4 of a stick of butter. And then I add my salt and pepper at this point. Potatoes take quite a bit of salt, but like with anything, when you add salt, you can't take it back out. So don't over salt it. And I do like some pepper in my mashed potatoes. Now, this is where everybody does it different. I was raised, my mom uses a hand mixer. You can use a hand mixer. I like a potato masher. If you don't have a potato masher, you can use a fork. You can use a whisk. Just whatever it takes. But basically, at this point, I'm really just mashing these potatoes. And no, I've not added milk yet. This is just to get them mashed up. Now, a lot of recipes nowadays, especially, I find they tell you to heat your milk. I don't heat milk. I don't think I've ever heated milk to do mashed potatoes. So if I look at these right now, they look like mashed potatoes. But now we're going to add milk. And now here's another thing where people differ. Today, I have fat-free milk. That's usually what I have. Some people use cream, like in a can. Some people use whipping cream. Just milk, that's all you need. I don't know how much to tell you to add. And so what I do then is I just use my potato masher And I just kind of start stirring and continue mashing. If it doesn't look like enough milk, add a little more. But again, that's another thing. If you add too much milk at once, you've pretty much got potato soup. Just roll with it. It's not the end of the world. But you can add a little bit and then a little more until you get it the right consistency. So, to be honest, that was perfect for this amount of potatoes. These are done. Now, if you are a little pickier and don't like any lumps whatsoever in your potatoes, you'll probably want to use a hand mixer to do these. But can you see how easy that was? That was easy. That's easy mashed potatoes. These are delicious mashed potatoes. You want a taste of them? Anyway, okay, that was mashed potatoes for our supper, and I'm doing barbecued pork tenderloin, which really and truly is just tenderloin covered in barbecue sauce, put in the oven. Anybody can do that. I'm not even going to do a video on that today. This is mashed potatoes, and then in another video there will be fried squash, and then in another video I'm going to do garlic cheddar biscuits, kind of like Red Lobster biscuits. So enjoy some mashed potatoes.